The 2022 Open Doors World Watch List report for religious persecution has been released. It paints a very disturbing picture of worldwide persecution happening to Christians. Every day, 12 Christians are unjustly arrested or in prison, and another 5 abducted. The report identifies situations where it's most difficult to be a Christian, whether by violent attacks from non-state actors or government regulations. More and more Christians are facing severe impediments to freely practice their faith in many places around the world. Here are 10 facts from the World Watch List that you should know. More Christians are murdered in Nigeria than in any other country. The COVID-19 pandemic enabled religious persecution through relief discrimination and increased surveillance. Technology is allowing more easily governments to control and suppress religious activities, with China the foremost example. For 20 consecutive years, North Korea has held the title of the world's most persecutor of Christians. Sudan's new constitution guarantees religious freedom, but it will take time for improvements to Christians. Nearly 91% of recorded violent killings of Christians for faith-related reasons occurred in Africa. Religious freedoms in China rapidly worsened in 2022. Legal harassment of Christians in Turkey has caused some to consider fleeing. In Latin America, drug cartels are the largest threat to religious freedom. Church leaders are often targeted for condemning corruption and violence. India, the world's largest democracy, is among the top 10 most difficult countries to be a Christian. In the U.S., many Christians believe that religious persecution only happens in faraway countries, right? Wrong. Christian persecution is happening right here at home, on our own soil. Many here are attacked for their faith too. So while it may not be at the level of beheadings or destroyed churches seen in other places in the world, it is still a problem that is growing. Traditional Christians are facing increasing intolerance in this country through fines, lawsuits, jobs lost, and the public disdain felt. Traditional values are continuously trying to be removed. Right-wing views are being labeled as being closed-minded. Even though these views are found in the Bible and have been believed for many years, increasingly they're being attacked. Everything from the LGBTQ agenda, same-sex weddings, removing God from government and on our currency, to attempting to punish ministers for speaking out against other behaviors and beliefs. We also saw how during COVID many churches were heavily attendance capacity restricted, while big box stores and liquor stores were allowed to remain open. Many churches resisting were threatened with fines and arrests. Often biases against Christians in America is happening in public schools, college campuses, and the workplace environment. Outspoken Christians are regularly demeaned, debased, and targeted for their beliefs. They often hear about how Christians have hateful, bigoted, and privileged believers. An example of what may be coming occurred in Alaska. Alaska Airlines recently fired 2 flight attendants for expressing concerns on the company's pro-LGBTQ agenda on their Christian rights. The organization First Liberty says woke corporations like Alaska Airlines think they do not have to follow the law and can fire employees if they simply don't like their religious beliefs. Many believers think that worsening persecution will soon be coming to the U.S. An American pastor, Andrew Brunson, was in prison for 2 years in Turkey on false charges, is warning Christians in the U.S. they need to prepare to face the kind of persecution experienced by fellow believers around the world. Brunson was imprisoned in October 2016 on unsubstantiated charges of terrorism and espionage. Turkey wanted to exchange the pastor for a Muslim cleric in the U.S., accused by Turkey of masterminding a failed 2016 coup. Upon his release, he admitted that he almost failed in prison because he was filled with fear and despair. In a recent article in Decision magazine, Pastor Brunson said, "I believe the 2 key issues driving worldwide persecution are the exclusivity of Jesus and salvation, the fact that Jesus requires obedience of his followers in hot issues such as sexual morality, gender identity, marriage, family, and biblical justice, and that people that follow Christ this way are often branded as people of hate and carry a message of hate. We need to pray for the persecuted Christians around the world." This is H.A. Graves.